Hello, 5th and 6th graders. We are finishing up our notes on text structure. And text, I should have mentioned on the other videos, doesn't mean the text you are sending through your phone. This just means a written article or book, anything that's written. So we're not talking about text you send back and forth to your friends. We are talking about an actual article or book. And we've been working on text structure for a few weeks now. You learned about compare and contrast, problem and solution, cause and effect, and the final text structure today is chronological order. And you need to be able to read something and determine which of those text structures has it been organized in. So let's look at this final one. Starting at the top, make sure you get your name on the left-hand side and today's date. Remember, this probably isn't today's date for you. You check to see what today's date is and put it down. And the skill this week is, I'm going to find my highlighter. You should have a highlighter or some kind of light colored crayon or pencil that you're going to go over the words that we're going to highlight, but I can determine and evaluate the structure that an author uses to organize a text. So you are looking how a text is organized. And the goal is that when you read a passage that you could determine of those 4 types we've covered, which one the author has used. So the last type to go over is chronological order. When a writer writes in chronological order, they put events in the order that they have happened. So chronological order just means that they are in the order that they happened. This is also called sequence of events. Okay, similar term means the same thing. Biographies about people's lives are usually written in chronological order. A writer must use chronological order to tell about historical events. So you've got to know the order of the events that are happening. So in any typical history book, they are going to give it in chronological order. Ways to show chronological order. You could do a list, you could do a timeline, a storyboard, or a flow chart. So if you're going to show chronological order, these might be the things that show up on the text. It could be how it's put together, or it could be an additional side piece, an illustration on the side. Using chronological order is important because it helps to show the relationship between events, which helps us to understand the cause and effect of those events. So I think the most important thing here is it shows the relationship between events. And the last section here says, understanding the structure of a text can help us to determine the author's purpose for writing the text. If they've written it in chronological order, most likely it's going to be to inform you. It's giving you detailed information about the steps, if it's a step-by-step or if it's about a historical event. So understanding the text structure can help us determine the author's purpose. All right, so we are going to move over to the side. You are going to need to make sure you have a pencil now, and we'll fill in our side notes for chronological order. And the first notes to fill in is referring back to structure again, that the structure refers to how a writer creates a text. How do they organize it? How do they put it together? You're writing this on your paper. If I'm going too fast, you'll pause and then start again. Next, chronological order is a way of organizing a text so that events are listed in the order that they happened. So things are listed in the order that they happened. Take a moment and write that down. Make sure you're writing neatly. Don't scramble and make it so you can't even read it. You have to read this back to the recording, remember? So you need to be able to read your writing. Signal words. So these are words that are going to possibly be in the text so that it will give you the hint that, oh, wait, this is organized chronologically. So ordinal numbers like first, second, third. So whenever you read something that's how to do something, it's always chronological because they're telling you the first step, the second step, the third step. You also might see the word next, last, after, before, later, then. These are possible words that could show up that would give you the hint that this is organized chronologically. So please make sure you get those signal words down. And I believe the last section on the left side you already have, and it was the example question. How does the structure of a text contribute to the meaning of the text? In other words, what is the writer trying to tell us? And it's important to understand how something is built or structured in writing because it will help us determine the author's purpose, why it was written, and what are we supposed to get out of this. So the last section is the summary. If you need to pause and go back because I moved too fast, go ahead and do that. But the summary for chronological order for the Cornell notes is chronological order is a type of structure where a writer gives information in order that it happened. This helps us to understand how events affect or influence each other. When you are done filling in these notes, review them before you record it. You're going to record yourself reading, and I want to remind you that you're not just reading one section. You should be starting up here at the top and reading the skill. Then you do the main section, and you go over to the left, and then the last is the summary. So make sure you get all 3 parts in.